No, there is a directive on the sale of chemical precursors that can be used for making explosives, which is going through the normal decision-making processes of the European Union. It's a very complex issue because these precursor chemicals are used in a variety of perfectly normal business applications. Hydrogen peroxide, ammonium nitrate are all normal household chemicals. So it's a difficult technical exercise to come up with a regulation which maximizes the chance of controlling the misuse of these chemicals without unduly getting in the way of people who have perfectly legitimate. Well, we create a system of licensing so that at least suspicious transactions can be flagged up and potentially investigated further. This is what is currently being discussed and should hopefully be agreed shortly.
And how would you like to survey the internet? I think this is, as a colleague just said, mission impossible because there are so many people saying something, and where is the level when it gets criminal or dangerous?
That is a very difficult task indeed, and as I think the answer is that whatever measures emerge will be a multi-layered series of measures. You will never be at a point where you say, you can forensically detect from something someone's writing on the internet that they are about to become a terrorist. On the other hand, it may be by surveying what's being said on the internet coupled with other investigative leads from other directions that you can have a multi-layered approach in which you have a mosaic of data, and when you put it all together, the difficult task would be finding the right arrangements for putting it all together, but you might have an arrangement in which by putting all this together you would have the best chance of detecting something. But I don't think there will never be a single magic bullet measure that you can institute and it will solve the problem. It will have to be a multifaceted approach.
Must there be a central station here in Brussels that is in contact with all the others 24 hours a day, something like a survey central point?
Well, Europol already have a very good response mechanism which has been triggered in this event and has actually worked very well, and it is part of the European Union's preparation for response to terrorist incidents that this first responder network exists. And I think I'm right in saying it's the first time it has ever actually been used in a proper operational sense. So that already exists, and Europol has liaison officers from all the EU member states and member states that have operational agreements like Norway. So in that sense it's in The Hague rather than in Brussels, but there is an arrangement that works very well.
Was the purchase of chemicals had been reported to, in that case, in Norway case, in the future, would you like Norway should have contacted the EU partners, or somehow overlooked?
The way the precursors regulation is going to work and the way the notification is going to work is still under discussion. But the idea is that there will be a reporting mechanism, as I understand it, through a database maintained in Europol, so that suspicious transactions that may need further investigation will get flagged up. Whether this would have happened in this case, I don't know, but it's something that the Commission of Inquiry would have to look at.
To stop here, sorry. Thank you very much for
There is an inquiry underway in Norway, and I think it's a matter for that inquiry.
But you think it's possible to prevent the similar acts in Europe?
Without knowing the exact details of this act, I can't answer that absolutely, and it's a question of what there is and how similar it was. I mean, one major risk is that somebody may actually try to mount a similar attack as a copycat attack or as a way of showing support. It will depend how that attack is planned and where it takes place, whether it's detectable or not. But it's clearly a possibility.
Is there a message you think the EU needs to send to people who are considering doing something similar?
Violence is never a way of solving a political issue.
Would you now rate the threat coming from Islamists on an equal footing as the threat coming from anti-Islamist people?
I think trying to make a precise linear scale of threats is very difficult and probably not very helpful. We have to be aware of threats from all sources and take the appropriate measures to counter the threat from whatever direction it comes.
But was there some underestimation of the threat coming from anti-Islam?
As I say, it was a threat that was recognised, and nobody expected anything on the scale of what happened last Friday.